Hi, and welcome to KET's News Quiz. I'm your host, Kelsey Starks. Welcome to October of 2020. Let's jump right in with our challenge question for today. What is the word used for a formal discussion or argument between political candidates? These events are often televised, especially when it involves candidates for top offices like a president or governor. There's usually a moderator who asks the candidates questions about their views on different topics. These events sometimes help voters decide who to support as they learn more about the candidate's ideas. Can you think of it? What is the word used for a formal discussion or argument between political candidates? That answer after our news. Well, we all know the last few months have been a challenge, and that is no different for world leaders. 2020 is the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. This year, Secretary General Antonio Guterres from Portugal rang the peace bell to begin the historic session. But, much like you, many UN members only experienced the moment virtually. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization, meaning it includes leaders from governments around the world. One goal of the UN is maintaining international peace and security, along with friendly relations and international cooperation. At this time of year, those world leaders or representatives usually make their way to New York and the United Nations headquarters, where the annual General Assembly is held. This year, they called the virtual session a general debate. The major topic was the coronavirus pandemic, of course, and building a post-pandemic world that is better and more equal. Well, environmental issues are also on the United Nations' long list of concerns. The effects of our world's warming climate is becoming evident. Iceland is known for their glaciers, huge masses of ice. In fact, they have one of the largest ice caps in Europe, but that glacier is melting more quickly now than just a few years ago. Younger generations have taken notice of that warming trend and are learning better ways to care for our Earth. Many are making their voices heard by world leaders. As the UN meetings got underway, so did demonstrations around the world, some led by youth activists who want to bring attention to the environmental issues. Teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg stood with others in Stockholm, Sweden, to begin a global climate strike on September 25th. Thousands joined the cause in Berlin, Germany, where they marched to demand more action against climate change. Many of the efforts were part of the Fridays for Future International Youth Climate Movement. Time now for the first part of today's quiz. Questions 1 and 2 are about the international gathering. Question 1. The organization is known as the United A. Kingdom, B. Nations, or C. Rulers. Question 2. The annual meeting happens in A. New York, B. New Jersey, or C. New Amsterdam. Questions 3 and 4 concern the environment. Question 3. One of Europe's largest glaciers is melting in A. Greenland, B. Iceland, or C. Switzerland. And question 4. The International Youth Climate Movement is called Fridays for A. Fuel, B. Flora, or C. Future. Back to the news. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was remembered last week following her death. Back to the news. U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was remembered last week following her death. Members of the court, as well as family and friends, gathered at the Supreme Court to pay their respects. Ginsburg's casket was also placed outside the building in Washington, D.C., where public mourners could pass by. Finally, on Friday, she made history by becoming the first woman to ever lay in state inside the U.S. Capitol building. Now, President Trump has nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett to replace Justice Ginsburg. She has been part of the U.S. Court of Appeals since 2017. The U.S. Supreme Court has 9 justices. Each is chosen by the president and must be approved by the U.S. Senate. Before that approval is given, the nominee is questioned by a Senate committee and goes through hearings to determine if he or she is fit to serve on the court. Once approved, a Supreme Court justice can keep the job for the rest of their lives or until they decide to leave. An indigenous tribe in Brazil is celebrating 6 months with no cases of COVID-19. Brazil is in South America. There are numerous native tribes throughout the country. While they live away from highly populated areas, they often go to nearby cities to buy medicines and other necessities. The Temblé tribe began isolating themselves early in the year and didn't allow anyone to travel outside their village except in emergency situations. Because of that, they haven't had any cases of the COVID virus since February. Leaders say it's been hard taking precautions and teaching tribe members about the virus, but their work earned them a celebratory feast with bonfires and dancing. Meanwhile, the African nation of Ethiopia recently celebrated a new year, ringing in 2013. Yeah, you heard that right. 2013. Ethiopia is located in the Horn of Africa on the eastern part of the continent. Somalia and Kenya are two of its neighbors. Addis Ababa is the capital city. Ethiopia is one of several places in the world that uses a different calendar. Theirs was developed by Greek astronomers and mathematicians thousands of years ago. Although it wasn't as festive thanks to the coronavirus, Ethiopians still celebrated with church services and family gatherings. A popular open-air food market was busy as people visited and enjoyed the time together. So happy 2013. And happy second part of today's quiz. Question 5 is all about the High Court. Members of the U.S. Supreme Court are known as A. Jurors, B. Magistrates, or C. Justices. Question 6 is an accomplishment. The Brazilian tribe took extra precautions to avoid A. COVID-19, B. West Nile virus, or C. Influenza. And you can celebrate with question 7. Locate Ethiopia, where 2013 just began, on the map. Is it at point A, B, or C? In the middle of the pandemic, 2 California high school students found a way to keep playing the sport they love, and they made it benefit a local food bank. Zach Apple and Owen Este play lacrosse at their high school. Well, when their season was canceled, they were determined to practice their skills and help their community at the same time. So they launched Lacrosse Against Hunger, a program where they coached other kids in exchange for donations to a local food organization. Through their efforts, more than $2,000 have been raised to help feed those in need in the area. What else has kept young people occupied during quarantine? Toys, of course. Parents haven't stopped buying toys to keep their kids entertained. Toy makers believe their sales will be even bigger as the holidays approach. The New York Toy Fair was limited this year thanks to COVID, but with kids stuck at home, STEM toys that challenge children to use their creativity are popular. So are outdoor toys that let kids burn off some energy. For the upcoming holidays, toy companies say creative toys will be the big sellers. They are also looking at toys that offer a surprise inside and those that make children even go on a scavenger hunt to find that prize. Well, something else that's becoming more popular are food-serving robots. In the Asian country of South Korea, several restaurants are using robotic help to aid their social distancing restrictions. Some fast food restaurants allow customers to place and pay for their orders at kiosks. Their orders are sent back to another device that puts sandwiches together. Human workers put the toppings on the food and then place them on a robot that delivers the bagged meals. At sit-down restaurants, diners place orders and receive their meals from mechanical waiters. South Korean customers don't mind the robotic service. They are just happy restaurants are opening again. Well, I hope you're open to the final part of today's quiz. Here we go. Question 8 goes back to those fundraising efforts. The teens raised money for the food bank by teaching A. Soccer, B. Bowling, or C. Lacrosse. You can have fun playing with question 9. True or false? STEM toys have become more popular during quarantine. Is that statement true or false? And question 10 is at your service. The country putting robots to work in restaurants is A, Japan, B, South Korea, or C, Canada. All right, time for a break to look at more of your goals for this school year. Many of your goals involve good grades, reading, and math skills, and that's awesome. That was the focus for Ms. Osborne's second grade students at Crofton Elementary in Christian County, Kentucky. One of them, Sawyer, has a specific aim for his goal. I want to begin reading chapter books. I will reach my goal by reading Skippy John Jones. All right. Lily is a seventh grader at Marnell C. Mormon School in Shelby County, Kentucky. She wants to get my work done on time. I had a bit of a rough start to this with online school and want to do better if and when we go back, don't we all? Wyatt is a sixth grader in Mason County, Kentucky with a long-term goal. My goal is to get better at science because I want to find cures for cancer and EOE, a digestive disorder. My aunt and uncle have cancer, and my little cousin has EOE. What a great goal. Gracie is in the fifth grade in Wisconsin. She has a wide range of possibilities to get better at everything because I've always wanted to have a great education. And Elizabeth from Greenville Elementary's fifth grade in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky has a non-school related goal. I will talk to my dad to get me a dog. Well, good luck, Elizabeth, and to all of you. And hey, let us know if and when you achieve those goals. Now, we want your opinions about our new opinion question. What opinion question would you ask? We ask all about your goals, what books you like to read, activities you enjoy, but if you wanted your classmates' opinion on something, what would it be? Is there something you're curious about and want input from your friends or maybe your teachers? Tell us what you think. What opinion question would you ask? And don't forget to tell us why would you choose that question. Send your letters to us via email at newsquiz@ket.org or use the form at ket.org/newsquiz. Be sure to include your name, grade, school, and teacher's name in your response. All right, time to get a look at today's answers. We'll jump back to that challenge question where the answer is debate. That's the word used for a formal discussion between political candidates. The first 2020 U.S. presidential debate was held September 29th in Cleveland, Ohio. President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden fielded questions about key topics affecting our nation. There are two other presidential debates planned before the November 3rd election. Those will take place in Miami, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee. And here are the rest of today's answers. The answer to question 1 is B. The United Nations works toward world peace. The answer to question 2 is A. New York is where the annual meeting usually happens. The answer to question 3 is B. Iceland is where the enormous glacier is melting. The answer to question 4 is C. Fridays for Future is the youth climate movement. The answer to question 5 is also C. Members of the Supreme Court are called justices. The answer to question 6 is A. The Temblays have had no cases of COVID-19 in 6 months. The answer to question 7 is B. Ethiopia is located at B on the map. The answer to question 8 is C. Zach and Owen taught lacrosse to other kids to raise money. The answer to question 9 is true. STEM toys have become more popular during quarantine. And the answer to question 10 is B. South Korea is the country with robotic waiters and food service. As we leave today, let's follow a pair of penguins for their latest field trip. Izzy and Darwin are Magellanic penguins who live at Chicago's Shedd Aquarium. Recently, they took a stroll to Chicago's Museum of Contemporary Art to check out the latest exhibit titled Just Connect. They seem to enjoy their cultural outing and the extra exercise. That's it for us today. I'll stroll on out of here and we'll see you next week for more News Quiz. Bye.